do. Doo 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 doo. It's doo doo. It's all doo doo. Doo doo. Doo doo. Doo 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 doo. I like the song. I can't hear that loud. I have to fix my volume. Change the volume. Get professional. I'm not professional yet. Good morning. Good morning. Do 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 do. We in trouble, y'all. It's doo doo. We in trouble. Doo doo. Doo doo morning. Obbie finally spoke up. Oh Lord. Identity politics. Full steam ahead. Turn that down a little bit. Identity politics. Full steam ahead. Obbie finally spoke up. Why'd you just go do a Netflix special, man? Leave us alone. Dang it. We about to solve something. We're making progress. I think we're making progress. I think people were waking up. It's all over though. You can go home. Everybody turn the lights out. Go home. We're not changing the world. Obama finally spoke up. I hate hearing him speak. I do. I hate hearing him. I hate it. I hate it. Cause he talk too cute. I hate people who talk cute. He talk because you want to believe him. And for a minute you forget who he is. You forget he's a big banker on his path to be a billionaire if he's not already one. He finally spoke up about Trump. We in trouble. We in trouble. He gonna rally the base, y'all. He gonna rally the base. We're in so much trouble. I'll show it to you. I don't even want to show it. I don't want to show it to you. I don't. I'm scared. I'm scared. You know, you're not supposed to show, you know, like brainwashing type stuff. He just talks too cute. Y'all know it too, because you want to believe him. I started watching him speak about why Trump shouldn't be president. I was like, yeah, Trump shouldn't be president. And I was like, no, but neither should you. I know you. You mass slavery, bombing and war, rape, destruction, and you know, I just, oh Lord, we're in so much trouble, y'all. He's gonna rally the base, I'm telling you. Baby steps. Good morning, Brother Terry. Yeah, we gotta take baby steps. We do. I know, but I was getting excited, Terry. I was like, yeah, we're getting somewhere. People are waking up. The gaslighting's going away. They're not seeing politicians in the burning bushes, you know. And I thought we were going somewhere. The Trump folks was coming back this way, and Obama folks, or Clinton folks coming this way. We had this middle coming together, the extremities. You know, I didn't see statues falling everywhere. I thought we were making progress, but now Obbie done spoke up, and I know this is how I know we're in trouble. I know we're in trouble because I almost was believing it for me. Like I said, I was watching him talk. I forgot who he was. I was like, oh man. That's what I'm saying, Terry. There's something digital in that. There is something real digital in the news. When they give these speeches and the media puts this stuff on, there's something digital. It gets in your head because you want to believe what they're saying. Almost for a minute, I almost forgot because I don't know where he was talking. Obama was talking somewhere. And let me be clear before people get all excited and start to think I'm not on any side of any politics. I don't believe in politics. I completely, I think somebody said it best the other day. I think it was Ty or somebody who said it best the other day. There's nothing political. There are no politics. It doesn't exist. Politics is just for poor people who actually have no idea what makes the world go round. The world goes round completely by money. Money, greed, and power. Love sustains it, but it's pure money, greed, and power. That's what makes the world go round. Politics means absolutely nothing. Politicians, they have no say. They get to do nothing. They don't even get to pick the color of their toothbrushes. But it's just this scheme of getting everybody focused on this politician and this party's going to save me and do something for me. And it's empirical evidence that they don't do anything for us. You know, but they're captivating and they're getting better at it because they pick these captivating people that talk like your uncle. You know, they pick billionaires that talk like they just came out the coal mine. People get confused, discombobulated. They believe in the identities. And that's how I know we're in trouble. That's how I know we're in big trouble because I was watching Obama. There was only like a little clip. Who sent me that? I think Carol sent me that. I was watching the Obama. I was like, yeah, it making sense. Yeah. All right. I don't know. Should I show it? Y'all let me know. Should I show the clip? Or we can talk about other stuff. I'm on Mars, y'all. I'm on Mars today. This is another thing. Where Linda at? Linda, where you at? Hey girl, this is something shouldn't be here. Linda, this shouldn't be here. Where Linda? We're on Mars today. Just another good reminder. They're always lying to you about everything. They're lying. And so I was watching something the other day. Somebody gave me a good theory. This was a curiosity picture. Curiosity rover took picture of a, what is that, a stoplight? I don't know what that is. I have no idea. It either is a stoplight from Mars back when they had the channels. Remember y'all remember the channels on Mars when they took pictures of it and all the channels, and NASA, they drew out where the channels went, they named them and everything. It was a Giovanni. He was the first one who started, but then NASA, this is where all the channels are on Mars. And all of a sudden all the channels disappeared. Like, oh, boop, we went to Mars. No, there ain't no channels up here. Y'all see no channels. Because the guy's theory, he said we didn't go to Mars, we went to Nevada. So we actually went to Nevada. We're just out there taking pictures, and this is why every now and then you'll see like a beer can, you'll see like an old skeleton. You see, it's like a stoplight from like the 1940s or something. Like, NASA doesn't care anymore. It's funny to them. They're just taking pictures out in the desert, like they think this is Mars. They so stupid. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I'm always being lied to, so I don't really know anything. I think the pictures are funny, and I put them up there because people believe the pictures. They believe the deep state, the security agencies, and NASA, and Obama, and Trump, and everybody else, Clinton. And I'm just like, we all just die. We're gonna die. I gotta show you. Let me show you. I gotta show you. I gotta show you this. All right. Okay. All right. Linda, go away. Where's Linda? Linda, girl. All right. Thank you, girl. Thank you for telling. Thank you, Linda. She got to come out here and tell on everybody. I'm gonna talk about a few things today. Some things disturbed me yesterday. I kind of caught a case yesterday. Hit my trigger. I don't know who sent me that. It was Sister Pat sent me something on the USS Liberty. Oh my goodness. I couldn't actually believe what happened. Like, it's deep. I was listening to the testimony, and when you listen to the testimony of the people on the USS Liberty, oh my gosh. Oh my God. It's so we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. But first, let's stop over at Obama. Let's stop. Who's that? Brother Braden. Hey, welcome back, man. Ain't seen you in a minute. Yeah, I'm still at it. I'm still calling everybody liars. Everyone. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop with my aliens, UFOs, Mars, moon, deep state, Democrat, Republicans, France, United States government, Congress, all of them, presidents. All they do is lie to us, and they keep us stupid. This is why I believe in just everybody need to know everything. There shouldn't be any secrets on anything. We could solve all these problems. Is the earth flat? Is that a stoplight? We could solve all the problems. You know, the Democrats and lying. And someone actually, I think it was Brother Ward posted out there, because I was talking about it. I always talk about it. I think one of the big solutions to one of our problems is politicians need to have body cameras. All the politicians and all the CIAs and FBIs and the NASAs, and if everybody got body cameras, everybody who works for us, then we're good to go. Because then we don't have to argue about dumb stuff. If it's at a stoplight, we'll know that that's Nevada. Or we'll know it's a geological formation, that, whatever. I don't know. But if they don't have any secrets, then the Democrats and the Republicans are lying together, making whoopee. May and Merkel and everybody doing whatever, and Putin and Trump, they all friends with Obama, and they all golfing. I think if we know everything, if they don't have any secrets, then we actually can form good decisions and make good opinions. If we don't know, if we're only given part of the data, we can't make any good decisions. That's why, all right, I had to preface that. We don't look at Obama. Leah said Pizzagate. Why has everything got to have a gate behind it? Dang, who's that? Tricky Dick did that to everybody. He messed up. Now everything's gate. Watergate. Everything has a gate. Trump gate, Obama gate, Pizzagate. What other gates are there? All kind of gates. Russia gate. All right. Okay. Everybody ready? Okay, please try to keep in mind when you watch this. I don't know who's here. Just try to keep in mind. 5 million people have been murdered since 9/11. I'm gonna try something. And this guy was a part of it. Obama. Okay. So I know, but I watch it. I want to believe it. All right, hold on. Here we go. Let me show you. He finally chimed in. It's just, but you have people who just want him to be Jesus. They want him to be Jesus. Hold on, let me bring him up. Where you at, Obi? It's not showing right. Hold on. Wait, no, still not working. Oh, can I not? Well, you know what? I may not. There we go. It's not working. Uh-oh. Might have to keep it small.
Congressman.
Oh, that's what she said. All right. I'm gonna make an adjustment. All right. I gotta do it right. Just give me 1 minute. I don't want to show this because you know what? Okay, I'm gonna try something. Let me try. Can I try something? I'm gonna try something. Because I think when we were kids, they used to show us popcorn ads and they would like flash things in between at the movies. We used to go to the drive-in movie and they would flash images and you would like fall into it. I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna show his picture. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm not, and hopefully if I don't show his picture, it doesn't trigger people into, yeah, we want Obama back. We want Bush term 5. You know, because I don't want to hear that. I don't want, or Bush term 6, whatever it is. I'm not gonna show his face. I'm gonna show somebody else's face. Whose face can I show? Let me see. Alien Jesus? No, I'm not gonna show Alien Jesus. I'm gonna show another face. Hold on. No. Oh, I know what I want to do. I know what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna listen to Obama speak and tell y'all what the good little slave's supposed to be doing. How we gonna solve the problems of the world, the ones that he didn't touch at all, didn't give a damn about. Wall Street told him not to. All right, here we go. I'm almost ready. I think when you show the pictures, it triggers that psychological thing. Like, you know me, I believe in all this DNA stuff and genes and perceptionism, and like, this is why you got all these racial problems and people, because you see the picture and it like triggers something. And I believe in all of that. I think they know what they're talking about. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I'm not gonna show his picture. I'm gonna show it. I'm just gonna show a burning bush. Okay, we just gonna show the burning bush. All right, now let's listen.
Question is, why would it take this long for Republican senators and Republican congressmen and Republican governors and state reps and state senators? Why would it take you this long to figure out that Donald Trump shouldn't be president? If you've made a career of idolizing Ronald Reagan, then where were you when your party's nominee for president was kissing up to Vladimir Putin, the former KGB officer? You used to criticize me for even talking to the Russians. Now suddenly you're okay with your nominee having a bromance with Putin.
You went to the bromance. Stop. Did you hear that cheer? Did y'all? I'm not showing the picture. I'm seeing it. I'm not showing it. I'm not showing it on purpose. But did you hear the cheer? People are standing up and they're cheering. I don't want to post a link because I don't want to promote it. But he's right. He's right. I don't disagree with Trump should not be president. I don't disagree with that. My Trump folks, I love y'all to death. You're not racist. People stupid. That's why they call you racist. You're not racist. You're anti-establishment. I get that. But no, he shouldn't be president. He's a billionaire. We're poor people. Poor billionaires shouldn't run poor people. Billionaires shouldn't make any decisions for poor people. But I think the same way that the sexy way Obama talks to people's ears and they kind of melt. I think Trump, he did that too. And that's why the billionaires picked him, because he can talk that I just walked out of the coal mine and everybody falls into it. But Obama does it too, the way he talks. But he's right. He shouldn't have been president. Trump should not have been president. But Obama shouldn't have been president neither. And Clinton shouldn't have been president neither. Why? Because they don't represent anybody but the banks and the corporations in the big war. So, all right, I'm gonna let him finish up. We got another minute to go. But I'm not as triggered. I'm trying not to look at the pictures. I think it's when you see the images, then people are like, yeah. But I think there's a psychological thing too, because you hear the people cheer in the background. And when they cheer, you're thinking, yeah, this is a good thing. This is like, because it's like crowd mentality, right? Like, you know how they talk about how cattle, you can herd cattle, because everybody else is clapping, so you clap and everyone's cheering. So you're like, yeah, this makes sense. We got to get Trump out of office. You're like, for a minute, I get pulled into it. I had to pull myself back. Whoa, no, wait, hey, no. I actually like Trump in office. I do. He shouldn't be there, but I do. I think we need him. Like I said, I think the temperature's got to get turned up a little bit, because what they do is what I see. I'm gonna tell you what I see. I see that he scares the hell out of a lot of people, and the billionaires put him in there for that. And so you look at something worse and like, oh my God, that's worse than what we got today. That's worse. And then they take him back. If that happens, if they impeach him and they take him back, then people are like, yes, woo, all right, we're better. We're back to hell. We're in the hottest part of hell, but we're back to hell, and it feels good. We got mass incarceration and war and bombing, and invading the whole world, no rights, and Americans are starving and sending all this money to Israel. Meanwhile, they kill everybody in USS Liberty. Woo! Oh man, that was close. Oh Lord, yes. I'm so glad we're back in hell. This is just this. That's what they did. I don't know if that's called a bait and switch, something like that. All right, let's listen to the rest of this.
If you come from a family of immigrants, like almost everybody here does, unless you're Native American, where were you when your party's nominee for president called immigrants criminals and rapists? If you're a Republican official or leader out there and you've run for office on family values, why wouldn't you walk away from him months ago when you heard your nominee for president call women pigs and dogs and slobs and grade them not for their character or their intellect, but on a scale of 1 to 10? You don't have to be a husband or a father to stand up for women. You don't have to have a disability to say it's wrong to mock somebody with a disability.
All right. I know. See, this part triggered me. This part triggered me a little bit because, like I said, I stand up for people. That's what you got. You got to stand up for people. But it triggered me a little bit. Like, man, he called women dogs and rated them on a scale 1 to 10, and he did that. And I'm sitting here, I'm remembering that I'm on a website called Facebook, and Facebook, its whole beginnings was rating women in college. That's how it started. I'm gonna tell you, I like the truth. I don't like to lie to people, and I'm not gonna tell women what they say about y'all behind y'all's back. I used to work in corporate America. You go there, and that was the daily pastime of wives just eviscerating their lazy husbands, and the lazy husbands on the other side eviscerating their wives, and they're cheating and all the emails going. Because I was in IT, so all this stuff, you can read all that stuff. So if there is a man on this planet that ain't never said nothing bad about a woman when no women were around, I need to meet that man. I'm sorry, I do. And if there is a woman on this planet that didn't say bad things about lazy bastard men, then because that's what we all are. So I see, this is my thing. One of my things. I don't believe in being a hypocrite. I don't believe in being a hypocrite. We're all just human beings. We're 98% monkeys. We're dumb. We're evolving. We say and do dumb things. Every man I know says something dumb, stupid about a woman that he regrets, right? We all get lost in tribalism. We all get lost in the religions and the politics and all of that stuff. Oh, let me get rid of the burning bush. I think that was close to the end. He had 19 seconds left. So I'm not interested in you pointing a finger at Trump because he's from a billionaire family and he didn't have no filters. He doesn't have any filters. The only difference between that guy is he probably has a little more control and power, and so his ignorant extremes have gone more ignorant and extreme, and he says more. But in terms of what happens in Washington, nothing's changed. There's absolutely no difference from a human rights perspective between Trump and Obama. There is none. There is absolutely none. And it feels bad because I listen to it and I'm kind of like, man, but you're a president. Why would you shouldn't say that, because that doesn't sound good. But why am I interested in what sounds good? I want to know what's true. I want to know, what are we really? Is this really us? Because this is what I believe in. This is something new that's coming up for me. Is I believe in the ugly. I think we got to look at our ugly and we got to examine it so we can fix it. And we still have little boys growing up around grown men that are berating women and rating them, and not rape, but that's happening too. Rate, R-A-T-E, the same way Facebook did in the beginning when they started all of this. And we need to know that, I think, because we need to solve that, because that means we need to change some things that are happening in our education system, perhaps. We need to fix those things. Just like all that racism and white nationalism and stuff that people get upset about. I want to hear it. I want all of it. I want it all on TV so we can all look at it as a community and solve it. You know, I want all the hip hop, the rap, the gangster rap, all the stuff some of y'all don't like to hear. I want to hear all of it. I don't want to, well, okay, I take it. I don't want to hear it. But I want it on television. Like, we need to know the pain that people have in these areas so we can fix it. So I'm not interested in that. I'm sure Obama, when he was smoking weed, he was talking dirt about women and this, that, and the other, whatever. It's just he didn't get caught. That's all. So I'm not interested in that. Let the last 19 seconds of this go.
You don't have to be a Muslim to stand up for our fellow citizens who are just as patriotic as we are. You just have to be a decent person, and you just have to love this country.
All right, so I wrapped up. Everybody stands up, cheers. Obama, it's gonna save us. Obama flicks. Like before Obama flicks came out, that might be the beginning to Obama flicks, because he's gonna have his Netflix special. But so the other thing, the Muslim part, right? So he's racist. He hates Muslims, and I'm thinking about how many Muslims have we murdered since 9/11? 5 million. 5 million people we've killed since 9/11. So I'm not interested in any American presidents down rating or berating any other American presidents. They're all foul. They all do foul things. I'm not saying again that they're foul people. It's just the office is foul. I don't believe in politics. I don't think politics make the world go round. I don't think you solve anything with the same systems that broke everything, right? I don't think politics is right. I think the office is broken. Congress is broken. Senate broken. All it is broken all over the world, and they're breaking it in every other country they can find and break it. So I think that we as people who start to realize that politics isn't our way out of this, that we got to start having some very serious come to Jesus conversations. Republican Jesus and then Democrat Jesus. I don't think either one of those exists. So I think we're in trouble. I do. Because when you watch him give that speech, it makes you feel a certain way, and it's going to make Trump folks feel a certain way, and it's going to make the people moderate. All the moderates might start doing that thing. And we have to figure out, how do you pull people back to common sense land? Like, I think there are a lot of people who are waking up, and there are a lot of people who are getting off the fence, and they're realizing we can't let these two groups that are just lost in foolishness actually run this world. We can't continue to let money run everything. That we have to change the world. We have to fix the model, you know? And so, so I think we're in trouble, but a lot of other things happen. Okay. So the other thing I want to tell you, the other thing I want to talk about, oh, this one hurt. This one hurt. If you didn't see his testimony from yesterday, and this is where they could probably start playing with my thing. I know y'all gonna see my image freeze up, and you see her dancing naked things or whatever, because they don't like you talking about Israel. But we have to. We got to have some serious conversations about it. So what was the brother's name? I posted yesterday, and I kind of went, it hit a trigger a little bit. It hit a little trigger. Let me see if I can get his name for you. When he started talking about what happened on the attack on the USS Liberty. So if you guys don't remember, the USS Liberty was the ship that was destroyed by Israel jet fighters. It was an accident. It was blamed on Egypt. And it had to do with, what was it, the Golan Heights or something? It was kind of a distraction to pull people in. When you listen to his testimony, Joe Meters, I had that up there yesterday, and he gave his testimony about what happened. It's important for people to watch these things. It's important for people to listen to these things, mainly because we live in a time where conspiracy theorists are under attack. Let me see if I can get this picture up here. We live in a time where it's just conspiracies. Oh, conspiracies, not true. I'm not going to play this. I just wanted to put his picture up there. And listening to his accounts of the attack are insanity. They're insanity. It wasn't quick. It took over 2 hours. The American flag was flying. What? Oh, whoa, where's Liberty at? Where's Liberty at? I got an old picture of Liberty somewhere. And the U.S. flag was flying. And they kept coming back and back and back and back. They kept hitting the ship over and over and over. The jet sorties, there was something like, there were 12 different jets, and just the jet sorties alone lasted 15 minutes of bombing U.S. troops on the USS Liberty, trying to kill them. The Sixth Fleet tried to respond because they knew that because the Israel's jets were jamming, so no one knew what was happening to they were kids. They're basically kids on that boat, the USS Liberty. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. And they jammed it, and when the Sixth Fleet tried to respond and tried to go save their brothers and sisters on that boat, Washington called them back. Washington said, you cannot go help the sailors on that boat. Washington called them back. And so he gave the accounts where they were putting out the rafts because they were trying to get off the boat. And apparently they saw it, and they started dropping napalm on the boat to push all the sailors below decks. And so the sailors got pushed below decks, and that's when the torpedoes started coming in. So it was a coordinated attack between jets and boats, and I guess they must have had a submarine out there, because when the sailors are below decks, because the decks are on fire, then of course if you're blasting with the torpedoes at the decks, then you're murdering people. Like, your attempt is to kill everybody on that boat. I'm getting a little choppy. Yeah, like I said, I knew they were going to play with it. That's what they do. You're not supposed to talk about stuff like this. And so, but they launched some of the rafts after that, and the planes came down and started strafing the rafts. So it was a total attempt. It was an assassination attempt to kill over 100 American sailors. I think 34 of them died. And it's important, I think, for you to go out and listen to the accounts. I think it's important, not because it's any anti-Israel thing. This is not where I'm going with that. Again, I don't take sides in anything. We are all jacked up. We're all born in bad places, and I don't think that tribalism helps. What I'm trying to say is, these things aren't conspiracies. These things are real, the historical facts. The problem is, we go forward in time and we become gaslit, and we believe the faces of the politicians. We believe the political party and the politics, and we believe they're here to help, when really they're just always here playing us. They're always here lying to us because we're liable and we believe it, you know. And so Benghazi, the same thing. If they recall I forgot who was responding at Benghazi, and they were recalled, and some people say that was Hillary Clinton. I forgot all the details on that. But if they do these things and they let our people die, they let our soldiers die, our kids die, and they're willing to do that for what they call geopolitics, which is really just a billionaire's game of just grabbing land and minerals and resources, that's real. That's real. You know, and so when you hear about it today, it's not conspiracy theory. You know that it's just an operations model that they're willing to let you die for whatever project they got going. So in terms of support the troops, you definitely want to support Joe Meters. You can find him being interviewed on YouTube. Like I said, I posted it yesterday. You can go get the accounts. But listening to the account, says every year they still have a memorial for the USS Liberty, the soldiers that were killed. They were murdered. And they invite the congressmen and they invite the senators. And still today, not one has even shown up. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Yes, Brother Mark, 22 a day. And this is where we have to be honest with ourselves in terms of, you know, are we really in support of the troops, right? Because are we in support of the warriors? I kind of like it saying that way. Somebody posted something the other day, said warriors hate war. They don't like to fight. They can, but they don't like to, right? It's just their job. But they don't want to go murder innocent people. They don't want to be in the Middle East fighting, trying to steal somebody's land for some billionaire and oil and trade wars and dumb stuff like that. They want to defend their family and their homeland. So if you really want to support the people who they're killing and the soldiers who want to actually just be heroes, You have to support the troops and ask that question. Share whatever Joe Meters has and ask the question, why? Why hasn't the United States even recognized that Israel did that? Why hasn't there even been a statement? There was a report about the only reason it stopped, they said, was because there was a Russian ship. I don't know how true this is. I don't do no fake news, but this is what someone said. They said there was a Russian ship that was too close in proximity. So while the Sixth Fleet was pulled away to make sure that those people get murdered on the boat, our brothers and sisters, that the attack had to stop because there was a Russian, some sort of intelligence ship or something that was a little too close. And that's the only reason those people are alive. Maybe Russia did that. You know. But these are important things I think we have to look at and we have to be honest with. There's a lot of other things happening. Oh, you know, I didn't even look at the comments. I'm off and going. There's a bunch of stuff, interesting things in the news. Y'all in them damn statues. I was just talking about statues yesterday, and someone there, and they're tearing down statues again. And what was it this time? There was some Sam something, you know. But why? So how do I jump from the USS Liberty over here to where is this? North Carolina, where they were actually tearing down statues again. Young people, I don't blame young people again. Young people, they got that aggression and anger, and I get it. I was young, I had the aggression and the anger too. But this doesn't help anything. So here's the story right here.
Protesters at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill pulled down a controversial Confederate statue. The 105-year-old monument known as Silent Sam has long been seen as a symbol of white supremacy in the U.S.
I don't know who Silent Sam is.
Put up in 1913, it commemorated those who died fighting for the slaveholding Confederate states in the American Civil War. The monument's polarized opinion on that campus for decades, though. It had been vandalized in the past. Although many saw it as a racist and offensive thing, others argued, maybe, but it was nonetheless still part of the South's heritage and should therefore be preserved. The university, for its part, condemned the toppling of the statue as unlawful and dangerous and did acknowledge the monument's divisive nature. At least one person was reportedly arrested during the demonstration. Police are investigating what they're calling an act of vandalism. The incident forms part, though, of a bigger picture here, a growing backlash against Confederate symbols across the country.
All right, well, if you know me, you know where I stand on. I don't think any statue should come down. I think it's stupid. I think it's dumb. I think it causes problems. I think the things that with the USS Liberty happen because people are divided. I think people are divided over dumb things like that. There are people who love the Confederate flag just because it's a sign of the South. It's a sign of the Republic and independent states. And then there are people who are probably racist. And the people who are racist are very few and far between. The people who want to bring back slavery are almost non-existent. That's just the reality of it. But on top of that, the reason you don't want to take the statues down is you need to remember your history. Anytime you don't remember your history, the ugly and the good, you repeat it. I think that you solve these problems by making it positive. You want to, if anything, you want to shame the bad things from history. You don't want to erase them. USS Liberty behind me being the case in point. You don't want to get rid of the USS Liberty. You don't want to cover it up. You want to know it's there. You want to see it. I have no idea who Yosemite Sam. I have no idea who that guy is. But if it was a statue that was based in some sort of slavery or embracing of the past, why not erect a statue behind it or in front of it that's a sign of unity and progress and moving forward? A sign of people coming together and solving problems. Like if love conquers hate, hate doesn't conquer hate, then covering it up and hiding a statue doesn't solve anything. What if you put a statue behind it of multiple people coming together? You know, like what if it was so obvious how ignorant Sammy Sam was, whoever he is, because you had this other piece of art that was amazing, that was dominating over it. You could look back at it and say, that's who we used to be, and this is who we are today. Then the kids could look forward to that. But if you buried it and you hide it, then that is just stupid, you know? So I don't like that. I'm not a statue takedowner, you know? I'm totally against any Robert E. Lee statues coming down. for some very different reasons, because the North was more sellout than he was, and some parties today in my country, both of them, you know, they sell out more than he does. We're attached to cell phones, and that's our slave trade of the day. He wasn't attached to cotton. He got rid of it. So I'm against that. But I think in general, you keep all the statues up. I think you shame bad things from the past. You don't hide bad things from the past. You know, I think maybe you could shrink them a little bit. So I get the idea of little kids walking up and they're looking at this big over dominating statue. Maybe you like shrink it down a little bit, like make it, you know, take it down like 3-4 feet, make it a little smaller and put something bigger over it. You know, but I think we have to move forward on very positive ideas. You know, let's shame bad things from the past. Don't try to cover them up and don't try to hide them. And what that is, it's a release of aggression. So I understand that. Like I said, I used to be a little angry guy. I came up, watched Roots, watched Shaka Zulu. I did all of that, man. I had this dashiki, Malcolm X short, the African medallion. I did all that. Back to Africa. And I realized that the black elite hate everybody like everybody else. You know, so, you know, then I basically spent the rest of my life fighting black supremacy. So y'all out there fighting white supremacy. I'm like, well, you know what? You know how this would work? It would work well if people who consider themselves white, they fight white supremacy, and people who consider themselves black fight black supremacy. People who do the Hispanic fight Hispanic supremacy. And you know what this comes to? People that's Chinese, Filipino, Korean, all fight Korean, Chinese, and Filipino supremacy in the elites. It becomes a fight that the fight actually becomes real. It goes back to the truth. And the truth is the only fight that's ever been fought is poor versus the elite. That's the only fight. That's the only fight that ever meant anything. Haves versus have-nots. But when you have the have-nots fighting the have-nots, you get all the destabilization and you get today. You get a time where you've got governments who are okay with democide. They're okay with murdering their own troops. They're okay with murdering their own people. They're okay with mass incarceration. And this is why I'm not on the Obama bus, man. I'm not on the Trump bus neither. Damn sure I ain't on the Clinton bus, because what's the point of going back to a place where they put this fear in front of you of Donald Trump and you're scared of him and you're scared of Russia, and then finally they give you some elation and maybe they impeach him. And then we all go back to happy slavery. This is better. Great day of Jubilee, mass incarceration. And meanwhile, the prison protests are still going on, but we can't talk about them because Mueller and I don't know all the people involved in that nonsense actually found a corrupt billionaire being corrupt. There's not one person in Washington that's not corrupt. So it's all bull. It's all bull to me. It's all about money. Focus on the money. There's no politics that will solve any problems. Politics are designed to keep the problems. Not all the time. I think at a point in time in the past, politics might have been real. But once the robber barons and the bankers and the corporations, once they buy your nation and they buy your politicians, politics is just there to distract you. It's just there to keep the dumb monkeys running around fighting each other while the corporations take the whole kitty home. So it's not about politics, it's not about voting, it's not about any of that. Yes, ties and bread. That's all it is. It's all a bread circus. It's all kabuki theater, every last bit of it. You know, and I'm all about empowering politicians too. I mean, I think that, you know, at a certain point in time, you need politicians to redesign, you know, these models and fix things. But it's not when the highest power of the land is these elites and these billionaires and these big corporations that run everything. You always have to assault them. Follow the money. Always follow the money. Don't follow the emotion. Don't follow the anger. Don't follow the hate. Follow the money. If we can follow the money, we actually can solve problems. But if we're still fighting a battle from the 1800s, we're not going to get anywhere. No, we're not getting anywhere. But this is why I think we live in a good time. I think we live in a time where a lot of people actually are opening their eyes to the extremities. I think there are a lot of adults who were on the fences who are now stepping forward and saying, we can't go forward like this. This isn't sustainable. This world is completely not sustainable. So there's a bunch of other things. Oh, what did Trump tweet? He's always up to something. This is a distraction God. He was talking about South Africa, right? Because they know they're doing the land take backs in South Africa. And I kind of looked at the report a little bit. We talked about it a few weeks ago. And so now they're taking the land from the farmers and redistributing it back to, well, it's going to government, and they're going to try to use it and redistribute it or something. And it's being portrayed as a racial thing. And I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just, you know, the history of it is what was it? The Danish, whatever. I think it was the Danish. Well, the Dutch came to South Africa and they started grabbing up the land at the time. I think, conflicting stories, right? Some people, I don't know what to believe, but they were hunter-gatherer more societies, and so they kind of, hey, nobody's on this land, I'm taking this land, and they took the land, and others took the land from tribes, and now we're in this place post-colonization, where what do you do post-colonization, right? And so they kind of frame the narrative the same way they do with the statues, because they want white people over there, black people over there, the people who believe in solar radiation and the color of a person's character has to do with their skin, people who actually believe that, and they get you angry and upset. And so they pose it as, they're taking the white farmers' lands. And I don't know if that's happening. I don't know. I can only look at things and try to process them based on what I know, which is they're always lying and they're always trying to get me on the side of something to make me look like a fool. So I think he tweeted something about sending, what's the guy's name? I don't even know who these people are. That's not Cohen. Who is it? Sending somebody down there to see what's going on in South Africa. So, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that we do need to know what's going on. Hopefully it's something where they're taking all the land back and they're using it for the benefit of everyone. I don't believe in land ownership. I don't think that it's a good idea. It has nothing to do with anything racial. I think that we have to move forward in the world. I don't think government should own the land. I don't think people should own land. I think that we should be working together as a collective. And so taking the land back, I would hope that it's being taken back from everybody, not just people who have lighter skin, because reverse racism is there's no reverse racism. It's just racism, right? That doesn't help anything. That makes things worse, right? And so we sit back, and if you've already joined a side and you've already made a decision, you're upset with me, all I'm gonna say to you is this: that's why Obama put AFRICOM in Africa. And that's why they got a president who has his 7 skin genes look like he came from Africa as president. So he put AFRICOM bases all over Africa. And if Trump steps in and says, you know what, I don't like what you're doing, what do you think's gonna happen next? Right, exactly. That's my point. That's why I'm saying we're always being played. You have to look at the strings. If one president sets it up and the other president hits it home, it's called teamwork. While Obama built the prisons, Trump got the police, and he's filling the prisons. Not that the people are doing it, the Obama and the Trump, but that's what the office is. When you see these connections lining up and they're constantly being set up, home run, set up, home run, set up, home run. Iran, same thing, set up, home run. Yemen, set up. The genocide started with Obama, set up, home run. And if they're constantly working together, at some point in time, you have to please look at the damn strings. We're always being played against each other. So that was in the news. I found that to be interesting. I don't think I want to show that. Of course, the inmate strike, I'm going to keep talking about till that's over, because that's more important than anything else that's going on. Anything else. You have to free people. Human rights is the most important. If you're killing people, if you're caging people, if you're caging kids and killing kids, it's, again, same thing. Trump is a guy, says dumb things about women. Obama's a guy, said dumb things about women. But meanwhile, both of the policies, the foreign policies, create rape gangs in other nations. Why do I give a damn about a president that grabs them into whatever, and both presidents destabilize nations that make human sex trafficking an industry? I don't care. Always go to the root. Always look down to the root, because they talk cute. They talk cute. And that's why I didn't show his face. I didn't show his face. I just put the burning bush up because they talk really good. They don't pick dummies. If you're still sitting back there, oh, Trump is just stupid. He's a dummy. No, he's not. He can't be. He's got millions of people behind him that will jump at his every whim, just like Obama has. They know how to pick these people. And this is why I think like all this Facebook stuff and social media stuff, like they really are using it like someone. Oh, I do want to show you something. They use it. So what some guy was talking about some of the Facebook changes, because we got changes, y'all. Changes coming. They got more changes where we're all going to be rated. We're all going to be rated on fake news, whether or not they think what you say and post is true. And everyone's going to have a fake news rating, whether or not you're fake or you're real. Talk about rating women. That's how Facebook started. But he made a point. He said that on Facebook, you're not a consumer. You're a product. Everybody here is a product. That what they're doing is they're using AI they're training AI, and they're using AI to study you and learn from you. And if they know how to trigger you and make you upset, make you happy, get you to be more tribal, then they can keep us in this de-evolved tribal status. That was a Facebook thing. You know, maybe I'll post that later. I want to show you something else. Trade war. Let's go on to the trade war. Again, I'm all for the trade wars. Love trade wars. Love them. Let's bring it. Bring it. Delicious. Bring it. All the trade wars. We need all the trade wars because they help local business. And here's an example of the trade war.
Other countries outside of the U.S., and China is certainly one of the top 2 or 3.
After President Donald Trump placed tariffs on a range of Chinese imports in March, Beijing retaliated with tariffs on U.S. agricultural products, including wine. Growers protested, but to no avail. Now, U.S. wines are priced out of the Chinese market compared with the fruits of Chilean, French, and Australian vineyards.
The world's getting smaller. We see great interest in the Chinese. Culturally, they want wine. They want the finest things in life. They know that Napa Valley produces some of the best wines in the world. So we have this great opportunity, but the government is putting this huge impediment in front of us.
It's not just growers here in California's wine country who are feeling the pinch. All over rural America, including many areas that heavily supported Trump in 2016, farmers' livelihoods are being disrupted by his trade policies.
Trade wars have an extremely detrimental effect on farmers compared to a lot of other industries. Soybeans is probably most affected, and then commodities like pork and sorghum.
Honig's winery has been in the same...
Hold on. Hold on. First of all, soy... here's my analysis. Okay, so if you're selling soy, number one, damn, maybe you should sell soy to China. It's all genetically modified. Number one, it's just full of all types of poisons that you don't want in your body, carcinogens, cause problems. What about healthcare so damn expensive? People dying. No, so first of all, farmers shouldn't be growing soy and sell it to any damn body. Farmers shouldn't be growing soy at all. Between soy and corn, they're just the number one components in processed food. That's what's killing people. So number one, shouldn't be selling that. Number two, if you got hundreds or thousands of barrels in a Napa Valley wine still that you're slowly curing into the best wines, why am I worried about you? The farmers are feeling the pressure. Hey, whoa. Listen, I know pressure. I got people down the street that can't buy food, okay? That's pressure. There's people in the Appalachian Mountains that are stuck. That's pressure. But like the fact that I'm gonna be upset about a trade war because some big, massive vineyard, they can't sell as much wine to China because he went and he established deals with the Chinese. How is this a good thing? Why? What you doing in China anyways? People in the hood and people in trailer parks, they like wine too. You don't have to grow wine that costs $400,000 a bottle. Maybe you can grow wine that costs $4 a bottle. You take care of your own people first. This is why I disagree with that. Again, I don't give two damns about people that have mansions and big food. I don't. I love them, but I don't care about them. This is why it's good, because now you know what's going to happen? Now he can't sell all that wine to China and make all that money and spend all that, make all that money. Now he's got to sell to Americans. Darn. Dang it, now I gotta sell local. I don't like selling to these damn Americans. Trade wars are good things. They're always good things. They're always good for sustainability. They're good for green. I mean, think about the ships. Think about the ships that he puts these barrels of wine on to send them. You know how far damn China is? How much gas it takes? I have no idea. It take a lot. It take a lot more than, where is he, Napa Valley? Take a lot more to sell some wine in South Central. I think you sell some wine in South Central. So again, trade wars are good things. I totally disagree with everything that this moron has to say. Trade wars are about billionaires becoming trillionaires and 100 millionaires becoming billionaires. We need more trade wars. We shouldn't be trading with anybody else. If you got tomatoes, you should be selling them to your neighbor, not to China. You got bananas, you should be selling them to the people in your country that need bananas, not somewhere else. We are not ready for a global economy. We are a global economy. I know we are, because we're stupid. We messed up. We let the billionaires buy all the governments and they set up these massive trade deals. So I'm not going to go off on trade wars. It's just people in this gaslit stuff. It's got to stop. If it has nothing to do with you, why do you care? Right? If it has nothing to do with you, why do you care? This is when you get people back in the space of supporting poor people. If it has to do with poor people, let's talk about it. If it has to do with giving poor people 5% and somebody else keeping that 95%, it's not your business. Oh, well, price is going to go up if the Walmarts can't get their products from China. Good. Walmart needs to go out of business. Walmart shouldn't even be in business. We got to get out of this gaslit idea that we're a part of the plantation and its profits. We're not. Well, our GDP, that's all you saying is just that's massive. We's doing good, isn't we? We selling cotton. We's got that cotton gin. It's making a whole lot. Meanwhile, kids are starving on our own plantation. Local business. It's all about starting your own local business, pulling all of this mess back from corporations. That's why Elon Musk is trying to get off the damn planet. He understands what happens when corporations make all the decisions, when profit makes all the decisions, because we're too worried about some damn statues than anything that actually means anything to people who need things, right? I don't want to go off into trade wars. I look at this and I laugh at the whole damn thing. I think it's hilarious. I mean, you look at the size of this guy, he's starving. Y'all see that? You see all these barrels? Can you buy that much wine? You're probably looking at probably about $2 million worth of wine. It's like, we're not doing so good. Trump and the trade wars is just hurting us. I don't know what to do. I might have to sell a Maserati. I got 3 Lotuses and I don't know if I can make the payments. You know, and I'm just sitting here like, come on, man. Y'all can't be that gaslit. You can't be that lost that you feel sorry for almost billionaires that decided they can make a lot more money selling to somebody else. No, you know, to be honest with you, and he can go. But the funny thing, I watched the whole thing, and towards the end of it, he started talking about his kids. Well, we're just a small grower, and I want to hand this down to my kids. The 4th generation. I'm okay with you handing it down to your kids. I have no issue with that. But I have an issue with you handing down billions to your kids. That's what I have an issue with. I have an issue with Obama handing down hundreds of millions to his kids. Like, this is what I was thinking in terms of solution. I always like to go to solutions. I forgot who I was talking to on the thread yesterday, but we were talking about caps, right? Like, our problem is caps. Our problem is we're not evolved to have money and power over each other. We're not. We're not evolved because we don't know how to stop. We're still locked in this scarcity mindset where we got to collect and collect and collect and hoard and hoard and hoard. And so that genetics, it's used against us, right? And this is why you have people who sell out in the business class and working for corporations and get these jobs as bankers and lawyers and doctors and try to collect as much as they can and hand it down to their kids. You're not supposed to hand it down to your kid. I think it's okay that you do that, but we got to have caps. I think if you give us caps again, limits to how much people can have, then that means that people who are alive today can live. Like, I don't think you should be able to hand down $1 billion to your children and we got 1 billion people starving today. I think that's stupid. I think that's dumb. I think it's foul. I think it's selfish, and I think it's evil. I think it's maniacal and deceitful. I think you're a traitor to your own race. That's what I think. I think you're a traitor to the human race. The idea that you would save up enough money from some damn wine barrels. I'll pick on this guy. He might make good wine. I don't know. But the fact that you would save this up to hand it down to your kids, and there are kids today that are dying because they don't have what you're handing down. That's evil. That's evil. We shouldn't be those people. That's not us. You know, we always had caps. Or you could only put so much food in your belly. Then you could only put so much rice in your stills. Then you could only have so much and build walls so high to keep out the marauders. And so then we had banks, and now you got bank accounts, and now you can have endless greed. And I think people are playing against themselves. And this is why I'm saying that I don't want to be a billionaire. You understand that? If you send me $1 billion, I'm going to set up a grow farm and I'm going to give food away. Because I know probably what it's going to do to me. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not gaslit enough to deny science, right? If all of the people who make these billions of dollars turn into evil bastards, you know how arrogant I would think that I would be that I'm not going to do that? You know that old saying how people say never forget from where you came from? The only way to not forget where you came from is to not take the money. That's the only way. Not take the greed. To let enough be enough. Let enough be enough. You know, and I think it's good that you line things up for your kids, don't get me wrong. But not right now. Not right now. I think when you live in a world where you got kids in Yemen and their stomachs are about exploding from inflammation and swelling because they're being starved to death by both Obama and now Trump. I don't think that you can think about unborn kids yet. You know, just think about how stupid it is. Think about how stupid it is. How many generations could billions of dollars handing down help? It could help people who may not be born for 10 years. 10 years. And we got kids that are 10 that are being killed in buses in Yemen for this stuff, for this money, this evil, this greed. It's got to go. It's got to go. But that's why I don't talk about billionaire greed. I talk about our greed, because it's our greed that makes their greed work. It's our greed that makes their greed sustainable. It's you wanting to put $1 million in an account in your retirement, your 401k, so you can retire and hand something down to your kids. It's that level of greed that actually makes the billionaires. And that's how they buy our governments, is we are them. We are just as evil as them. We're just not as successful as them. That's the only difference. The only way you do it, I think, is caps. I think you cap incomes. I think you cap savings. I think you cap and you cap governments too. You cap them, you know, because I'm not socialist, not communist, not any of that stuff. I just look at things and say, hey, well, that doesn't work. So we can't do that, right? Governments, if you're in government, you can't make a salary that's ignorant, right? You can't have a savings that's ignorant. You can't have power that's ignorant. Government should never own any land. They should just be allocating land to people who are alive right now. You know, so do I agree South Africa take the land back? Yes, I do. Take it back from everybody. I think in America, I think you take the land back from everybody. UK, France, Britain, all over the world. I don't think anybody should own land. I think you should get a land allocation. You're born, we said, mwah, baby, we love you, 7 billion. Here, go off, here's your land, grow some food, start a business, whatever. If you've already got land in your family, you can hand that down because you already got the land, you got your milk farm, your winery, whatever. So you have, you know, but I think we have to start looking out for each other. We need a new model shift. We need to change the paradigm. We can't continue on with being little greedy bastards arguing about the big greedy bastards, which is all politics is. It's just slaves arguing about which masters get to take home all the money. All right, I'm gonna go to comments. I ranted a little bit today. A couple other things in the news, but yes, with Jeannie, we need a maximum wage. Thank you. We need caps because we haven't evolved yet to deal with that amount of power and money. How about passing down love, respect for humanity and the earth to the children? That's the best investment for all. Exactly, Sandra, and that's what we have to pass down. And I think that's what this is when we have these type of conversations, is stepping out of our being little greedy bastards and being okay with enslaving somebody else. And we're pissed that we were slaves because we all came from slaves, and start handing down love. Start loving your neighbor's kids as much as you love your own little kids. Start loving Yemen's kids as much as you love yours. We need to pass down common sense, decency, morals. And this is what I'm saying. If you look at these leaders and they don't demonstrate your culture, you shouldn't be following them. They're not your leaders. You know, if you believe in bombing and murdering, the guy dropped more bombs than everybody, than any president ever in history. If you believe in bombing and killing your neighbors, then I guess Obama's your guy. You know, if you believe in grabbing by the pussy, whatever he says, you believe in that and continuing the bombing and the genocide and murdering children and all the pedophilia and the rape gangs and all that come out from all these, what these leaders are doing. If that's your culture, go with it, brother. Go on. You know, sister, go ahead. That's you. It's not my culture. So I agree with Sister Sandra. You have to hand down love and common decency and respect. To me, it's called being an adult. You go back to being selfless and being an adult. You go back to living within your means and stop being this little tribal, stop being played. I don't like to be harsh, but stop letting people play you. You know, stop letting the place you were born, the skin you were born in, the religion, the country, stop letting people play you because they got $1 billion and they hold back information from your intellect. Let your intellect expand far enough to know that these people lied to you, to know, let me hide this, to know that these people don't have your interest in mind, to know that when these billionaires get together with these prime ministers and these presidents and these congressmen and these senators, they never have your best interest in mind. Never, ever. You're just on a planet that they own and they feel that they own you. Stop cheering for them. Yours are no better than theirs. Yours are bastards just like their bastards. You left bastards at the top and the right bastards at the top, you know? Community people. Yes, Ellen, we absolutely have to go back to being community people. We have to go back being a collective. Greed did not work out for us. Money did not work out. It's a failed system. Let me see. He's a effing actor and he bought his election just on the fact that he was controversial and could create huge. Well, he doesn't say huge. I think he says huge, Deborah. I think it's Y, Y-U-G-E. I don't think he says huge distraction from the lameness of the alternative. Okay, that's too long. So I can't go all the way down to the bottom. But I agree. I mean, he bought he bought the election. But I think though that is deeper than that. I think that the people who control the strings like him, and they like him because he is divisive. They like him because he's stirring up turmoil. They like him because it encourages people to go tear down statues. I think they like him because it's showing people, ooh, it can be worse. Like, you think us billionaires who own the Democrat and Republican Party that's murdering the whole world, you think we're bad? We're going to show you something worse. And they show you something worse, and it keeps the Democrats from waking up, and it keeps them cheering impeachment like it's going to change something by putting Pence in. And all it's going to do is turn the temperature back down to a comfortable slavery level so they can be okay with all the devastation, so they can go back to being greedy little mini bastards, building up the billionaires, destroying the world. Subliminally, I hate that word. Subliminally, we are all taught to limit ourselves in understanding. I think that's true, Ty. I do believe like we're evolving, and I think there's a consciousness thing that's happening. And I think that we do have those limits, but not everybody's tapped into it. I don't think that everybody can walk away from being a greedy bastard overnight. Like, I think the only reason I'm here, and I don't want anyone think I'm arrogant. The only reason I'm here because I'm older. That's the only. I'm older, and the older I get, I'm just looking around. I'm just like, man, I had it all wrong. Like, I'm just looking around and I'm realizing that there's no future in this. There is no future in this level of division amongst the human race, that we're all related. So I think we all can tap into that subliminal thing. I don't know what it is. People call it God, spirit, spirituality, soul, universe, microbiology. I don't know what it is. But there's something, and we got to tap into it. But I think the other thing, Ty, is I think people can only tap into it if they're like surrounded by love. And I know it sounds cliche, but I think when people feel safe and secure, people can think, right? And that's why they're clapping for Obama still. And that's why they're clapping for Trump still, because people don't feel safe. When people don't feel safe, they get tribal. That's why in Germany, they're trying to push the immigrants out. That's why they're fighting in the streets, and I forgot where it was, because they don't feel safe, right? When you take away that safety from a human being, they get tribal, and that's when you get the worst responses out of them, and that's when you control them. California wines contaminated with glyphosate. Exactly, Maryland, which exactly. The farmers need to go back to growing how their parents grew or their grandparents grow. They're chemical farmers. That's the other reason they that they shouldn't have farms that big, because you can't take care of a farm that big. You can't have millions of barrels of wine and have a farm that's big unless you're growing it chemically. And if you're growing it chemically, you're killing a lot of people. And so no, you want wine, you want people to drink the wine, get dancing, get nasty and stuff, enjoy the music. That's what you want. You don't want people in there with cancer and lung disease and colon cancers and stuff drinking your wine because you're a lazy chemical farmer and you don't actually want to go out there and do crop rotation, release insects, and keep attached to the ecosystem and promote ecosystems so that they take care of your crop. Like I said, but everything is greed. And this is my biggest critique on farmers, is that the farmers, they gave up on common sense too. So it's not like a one thing, it's a cross the board thing. We gave up on common sense. Let me see. Deborah says, you crack me up, Gerard. Your mimicry of uber wealthy people is right. Well, Deborah, I didn't grow too far from them. The only difference with the wealthy elite bastards I grew up around, they all had black skin. That's the only difference. That's why I have a very weird perspective that a lot of people can't relate to. I grew up around some evil people, and they were not the white man. That's why maybe I have a little bit of a tap into this not fighting, people because of color of their skin. Because most of the people I've been fighting, once I really figured out what was going on, they look just like me. They pretended they gave a damn, but they couldn't give two craps. Which is why I appreciate Michelle Alexander. If anybody hasn't read her book yet, The New Jim Crow, you need to read it. You got to understand how this works. You got to understand the 13th Amendment. You got to understand how these leaders will sell you out. They don't care about you. They're elites. The higher you get, the more retirement you get, the more you sell out people underneath you. And that's just how it works. Are you sending our chickens to China for processing? I don't know, no, man. I don't think that's what's happening. I think because of cool. What was cool? Cool. I forgot what cool stood for. That was for that big trade agreement where they were going to take the labels off of all the meat coming in, so Americans and I guess anyone in North America, you wouldn't know where your meat came from. So they're sending meat here, like and this is what happens when you can buy a government. You can grow chickens chemically in China or anywhere else and send them here and sell them to dumb Americans because you own their government. You buy the legislation. So I don't think we're sending chickens out. I think they're sending chickens in. Let me see. Geoengineering California grapes. Exactly, Ellen. And that's the other thing. Geoengineering is another big thing we got to do. We got so many real problems to deal with. Concrete statues just isn't one of them. Helping billionaires in their trade deals just isn't one of them. We got real problems to do. Nobody wants our GMO products, right, Jeannie? They don't. And around the world, they just, we don't want nothing to do it. Nope, you're not saying it. Is that a ship? Is that GMO? Is that America? Nope, that's GMO. We don't want nothing to do with that. What's that, Miss T? The three sisters, corn, squash, and beans give back the earth, sustain one another while keeping down the weeds. Yes. Well, we got to get back into natural growing, Miss T. You know how that works. You got to get back into, and that was like a Native American thing that they taught us. You got to go back to growing sustainable, but it's across the board. And that's why I don't do the labels and attack groups, and I'm not being tough on farmers. I'm just saying across the board, we got to get back to truthful things. We got to get away from what makes profit solving all of our problems and get back to common sense. Let's go back to being smart and wise and sustainable and just talking together about what makes sense. It's like Ty had a good video yesterday. Oh, we were laughing. Y'all see Ty's video. I think I posted. Y'all watched that. We were rolling yesterday. But we have to get back to a place where we're actually talking to other people. Right? Step one is to be introduced to the person that they say you should be fighting. Step two is to listen to them and find out if you actually should be fighting this person. Step three is then you start to form your own opinions, but you can't step out on people you've never known, on anger given to you by leaders that are purchased by billionaires. That's just stupid. Makes no sense. They all play chess with the masses. They do, Sandra, and it's highly dangerous. A highly dangerous game. Highly dangerous that we're still not talking about the USS Liberty. Highly dangerous that our congressmen and senators have no control over their actions. We die when we give corporations all the power. Highly dangerous they're still rolling out these killer robots, and we're not talking about killer robots. Like we're still talking nuclear proliferation, and it's just the dumbest conversation on the planet because the ones who dropped the nukes, the only one who dropped the atom bomb, are driving nuclear proliferation. The ones who have the most are driving it, which is just stupid. We need AI proliferation. We need chemical farming proliferation. We need, processed food proliferation. We need starvation proliferation. We need war proliferation. Like there's so many proliferations we need to focus on that are human rights based, but they drive the conversation and they tell people how to think. And this is where we're losing everything. Let me see. Notice he says 1 million and Keith, he says 1 million and hang on, Deborah. Notice he says 1 million and Keith said 10 gallon. How many grow farms could we make with 10? Okay, I'm sorry, y'all all finished. Y'all growing, I don't know what y'all the problem now is hoarding. Yes, Sandra, they're all hoarding. We need to basically ban hoarding. Hoarding in bank accounts, hoarding at your house, hoarding everywhere. We need to take care of people who are alive, not hoard. How much money saved for old age is acceptable? That's a good question, Rebecca, and I don't think that's something that I should even be allowed to answer, right? Like we solve problems as a community and a collective. I think whatever, it's acceptable. Well, let me ask another question, Rebecca. Let me ask it another way. Why should people have to save for their retirement? What if people just put in the work that they got to put in until they hit a retirement age, and at that age we're taking care of them? Like, because I keep getting lost and I think about money, sis, and the reality is money's still going away. Money's not going to stay. The robots and AI will either work for us or they'll work for corporations. They'll work for the human race or they'll work for greed and hoarding. And if they're working for us, you don't have to save any money for retirement. In your retirement, you already have a house. You already have food. You already have water. You'll have the ability to travel all over the world and do anything you want because now the robots are doing it. The drone boats are driving you. The drone cars are driving you. We're not using drones to murder people, but we're using the technologies that all of our ancestors developed throughout the ages to help people and solve problems so they don't have to hoard. They don't have to greed. Like, we can end hoarding overnight, by just promising people you're going to be okay. You don't have to worry about it. We don't have it all figured out. We're almost there. 95% of the way we can automate entire societies. But but we can convince them, listen, we're going to have a new world model. We're done with this. Stop collecting. Stop putting as much money in your bank account, because that actually is what's stopping us from modifying the paradigm, from making the paradigm shift, because you're still collecting, you're still hoarding. Stop that. We all need to get together, make a solution that the billionaires don't get to dominate the future. We're going to take care of each other. So I think the capping, if anything, Rebecca, might just be like a temporary thing. Because a lot of people aren't going to go along with it. They don't care what I think. They don't care what you think. They don't care about anybody but them damn selves and what they can hand down to their kids. So I think, like, from a practical perspective, we have to walk down a road of starting to get people into the process, the thought pattern of not being a greedy bastard. And so not everybody has to cap. Some people, they don't want to be greedy. Other people, we're going to have to stop them from doing the collections that they're doing. Indigenous people of this land believe that the land belonged to God and they belong to the land. They did not believe in land ownership. Yes, Brother Anthony, and that's what we have to get back to. I mean, that's what we have to move towards. We have to move towards being wiser and smarter and being more in tune and tap with our humanity and less in tap with our bank accounts and our greed, our worshiping politicians, just like people do these religions and gods. Facebook isn't letting you scroll. Yeah, Deborah, you might have to reboot. Sometimes it's Facebook playing with you. Sometimes it's just the app doesn't do what it's supposed to do. That's why I didn't spend too much time on USS Liberty. I drop it out, go do your homework. Because more and more, we're not going to be able to say this stuff. Like, if I sat here and I did a video about the USS Liberty, I guarantee you it would be frozen and flipping and static and all of this crazy crap, because they don't like people talking about that. Like, I'm really now, I don't know who sent that to me. One of the sisters sent that to me. I'm really now starting to understand what a lot of my friends have been saying. Like, every time I say something, they're like, Zion, 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 Zion. I'm like, man, y'all gonna break the Z's on your daggone keyboards. But I'm really starting to understand, like, if you can get the American government to pull back the Sixth Fleet that's going to rescue your soldiers, our sons and daughters that were serving in the military, so they can keep being murdered by jets from Israel and dropping napalm I can't even understand that amount of power. I can't understand that amount of evil, but I also can't understand that amount of power to make a government do that. And then everybody's okay with that's just, but but I couldn't do a whole video on it. So you got to go do your own homework. This doesn't work. There are no leaders in this. Nobody's going to lead us out of this. Everybody has to lead themselves. Everyone has to go do their own homework. When somebody says, hey, look at this, this is important, you need to pay attention to this, you need to watch this, you need to go do it. So I'll post the link, but it's already on my timeline. You can see it from yesterday. I think they used Trump to lure non-politic folks out to vote, like old reunion past parties. Yeah, Jeannie, that makes sense. The same way they use Obama to pull out the black vote, right? The same way they use Obama, same way. They play us by the same strategy, they just reverse it. Pence might get us over the cliff and force a few hands that are just going with the flow. Pence should scare the hell out of us. His distractions could get realer. Yeah, Galen, I agree with you. I agree with you. I actually prefer Trump to Pence. Pence is I had to be nice. I got a little Pence too. But I don't know, Kel. When I look in that brother's eyes, man, I'm not seeing anything I want like empower anywhere. I'm not seeing anything I need to see. But more importantly, when that happens, people will stop fighting the system. That's why I don't want, the main reason I don't want Pence is not any of what I feel about him. It's because it'll get people to be okay. Like, we solved it. We got rid of Trump. Everything's going to be good now. This is a psychological win. And we shouldn't be winning and we shouldn't be backing down. Like, we got to take this Trump phobia, this Russia phobia, along with the Obama phobia and all the phobias, all the gates and all that stuff that we have, and direct it to being anti-establishment. We got to direct it all to being anti-colonizer model. We got to direct it all to be anti-violent solution. Direct it all to be anti-democide, anti-genocide, anti-corporations running the planet. If we can do that, I think that's how we win. And this is why I don't like the idea of Pence being in, because it'll take all of that energy that we have, and it may take another couple decades. Maybe we never even get a chance to change anything. We got to change the model for the world now. I don't know that we're going to get another chance, you know? So I think that energy just has to be redirected. So I don't want Pence. I want Trump to keep pissing people off. I want him there to keep making people angry, right? Because you can do something with that passion and that anger. You can do something with that outrage. We can talk about all the things that matter when people got that passion and they want something to change. But when slaves are on the plantation, they just jump around, jump down, turn around, pick a bale of cotton, going to jump down, turn around, pick a bale of hay. Have you ever saw the Harry Belafonte song? I have to post it. Jump down, turn around, pick a bale of cotton. When the slaves are happy, you can't change nothing. They'll tell on you. You run off the plantation, we's going to tell massa on you. We need angry slaves. This is why I say I think Trump can make the world great again. He can, because he's a billionaire and he doesn't have any filters. But it's not up to him, it's up to us, right? He can start a conversation. He can show us the directions we should not have gone, the powers we should have not given to government. But people have to be smart enough to take that, critique their own party and critique they're complicit in doing it too, and come about a new solution. You know, it's not Trump that'll make America or the world great again. It's the people who all come together and say, we're not going to do this anymore. This establishment is evil. It's the people who really start to wake up and realize that there's no difference in these political parties. There's no difference in these countries and in these nations. They're all the same. They're all on the same model. They call them a little different. They got little tweaks and bobs and tiddlywinks and spatially sprockets that are a little different, but they're all run by central banking. They're all run by the same people. So yeah, so I'm not for impeaching Trump. I think we need Trump to fix things. Not that he's going to fix them, but we need to fix them. What was that, brother? Johnny said, burn in hell 2020. We're burning in hell now. We're in hell right now. But we stay in hell because most people don't feel the heat. As long as they keep most people not feeling the heat, they can keep the world in hell. And I think sometimes you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. I think sometimes you got to get your feet burned to learn, right? Because I would be falling right in with the Obama speech, because I don't know. He said he talks, you just want to dance with it. That sounds bad because he makes it sound logical. I don't know, man. He sounds like my uncle. I don't know. He just makes it sound logical, you know. But that screws people up. You have to always stay focused that these people are murdering people. These people are killing people and they're starving people. With empathy and sympathy along the travel. Yes, Galen, we don't get anywhere without empathy and sympathy. All right, last couple comments and I'm gonna get out of here. What's going on YouTube? Love your endocrine system. It keeps you semi-sane In a sane world, in an insane world, yes, Miss T, it's definitely about eating healthy, being natural, being strong, living sustainable, going back to eating more fruits and vegetables and less meat. I don't tell people stop eating meat, but you got to be healthy and strong. If you're eating chemicals and processed food, you're going to be weak, you're going to be sick, and you're going to need the system to continue on. Explore and expose another truth as often as possible. Absolutely, Miss T, and tell everybody. Expose the truth, find it, and share it with people, but also don't be an angry bastard. You know, don't troll people to the extent where they hate you or they're angry with you, because once you do that, you have no integrity with them. They have no interest in listening to you. You know, listen to people if you're so inclined more than you talk with people. Don't talk at people. So we got to find those things, but we got to go back to being adults in how we deal with people with respect and love. Otherwise, they won't listen. When you tell them about the USS Liberty, they're not listening. Besides the fact with the new Facebook rules, they're going to vote you down. Y'all see the Black Mirror? You need to watch Black Mirror. They're going to vote you down in the society, and they're going to say, no, I don't like you because I don't like your integrity. Everything you say is fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news. You know, you got to have integrity with people. That's the world we're going into. You don't get anything done if you're comfortable all the time. Stress is necessary. Yes, Ty. Ooh, good one, Ty. Yes, exactly. And that's how the human body works too. They talk about how stress is a natural component. You got to feel stress. You got to have those releases. We shouldn't be comfortable. We should not be comfortable. Let me see if I can find somebody we need to look at as I close out. We shouldn't be comfortable. There's nothing we should feel comfort in right now. A lot of evil is happening around the world. Long as people are starving and we got technology to save them, long as people need food and we got food being stored in massive warehouses, as long as we got people, human beings around the planet that are begging us for help, we shouldn't be comfortable. That's evil to be comfortable. It's evil to pretend that we're comfortable. You know, so I'm definitely not one that's, hey, we need to be comfortable. As long as we got little brothers like this. Then I'm gonna end on this man. I don't even know who this man is, but he's in Yemen. Long as somebody's baby anywhere on this planet looks like that, as long as anybody's baby is having that done to them intentionally, let me be clear. Let me be very clear. I'm not going to play on this one. Let me be very clear. And if it hits your trigger, hit your trigger. I don't give a damn what your Obama says. He's evil and a demon. And if he's not a demon, he's being used by demons. I don't really give a damn what your Trump says either. I don't give a damn what any of them say. If you can do that to that little man right there, see, hit a trigger. I'm sorry, I gotta go. This is why I know I gotta go, because I'm getting upset. I get upset, it'll hit a trigger. Kids hit that trigger. When y'all killing kids, I don't care what you think about a Trump and what he says about women. If you did that to this little boy in Yemen, you paid for Saudi to do, you went along with it. Your party. It's not about Obama too. I'm not just saying it to him, about your party. You did that to somebody's baby. A lot of y'all don't believe in it, but I do. It means you're going to burn in hell. You're going to burn in the hottest place in hell. I have no intention of going with you. So anyway, that's where I'm coming from. I got to get off of here because I'm going to get up mad and I'm going to say something. Ooh, y'all going to get me cussing. I am not cussing. I'm not cussing. I'm just saying, question who you ally with. Question who you support. This is real. This is not a game. This is not a game, y'all. This is real. Y'all have a great day. I think, what is today? Tuesday something? Love y'all. Let's grow up. Have a good day, folks.